The new state budget will reflect the largest tax increase in Connecticut's history. Lots of folks are unhappy. We have here Chris Keating, Hartford Courant Capitol Bureau Chief. We had you on last week, and the question was, who blinks first, the governor or the union? Right now, no one's blinking, but at some point, the finish line is here because the budget's passed, but they still haven't figured out the concessions. Talk about it.
Correct. The budget was passed basically this past week with a $2 billion hole in it. And
it's a big hole.
Yeah, it's a rather large hole. It's a $20 billion per year.
Right.
So you're talking 5% of the whole thing. But yes, there have been a lot of behind-the-scenes talks, and it's kind of taken a long time. Some people think it hasn't taken that long, but actually it's a day-to-day basis. Marco Jakian says he's working on it every single day. So it's a lot more complicated than a real estate closing when you sell your condo.
If they force the governor's hand, he's saying, listen, this could be up to 4,000 jobs. You guys play around with me, right? So what are you hearing right now? At some point, who bends?
Well,
a lot of jobs, right?
Certainly all the preparations. There was a big meeting on Wednesday at Rentschler Field of all the commissioners. All the gears are in motion for the layoffs. Not everybody would be laid off on in one day. It would be over a period of time. So I think there's somewhat of an impression out there that this would all happen in one day. That is not the case.
But it still could be 4,000 jobs. I mean, that's the card the governor is holding. And, of course, the knock on this budget is that it's a tax and spend budget, that you're taxing everything. You're taxing pet grooming. You're taxing buying clothes under $50. You're taxing everything, right?
Wedding gowns or whatever, yeah.
Right. Spa treatment for you, a guy like you who enjoys the spa. I mean, you're taxing yoga.
That's
right?
True. No, I know you're usually at the yoga and the Pilates and all that stuff. I hear you.
Everything's getting taxed, right? The Republicans are saying, wait a second, we had an alternative on the table which didn't have any increases. The governor said he would come in here and be bipartisan. He didn't look at it. Here's what the House minority leader, Lawrence Cafaro, said about the budget.
Everything we do in this state is being taxed. It is sinful. And even if this budget passes, I think the outrage by the public in the next coming weeks hopefully will force us to come back in before we adjourn and fix what we just broke.
Across the country, New York, Jersey, Massachusetts, are all boasting about their ability to not increase taxes. Here in Connecticut, they are. What's the governor's defense for that?
Well, it's definitely been a different road. He has said we are going down a different road. He calls himself the anti-Christie. He's not like Chris Christie in New Jersey. Even Cuomo in New York, basically no tax increases, a lot of budget cuts. Connecticut, which has a Democratic legislature, has allowed them to basically push through some fairly large tax increases, the largest in state history.
Again, let's take a look at some of the taxes we're going to see down the road. We're going to put up a screen here for the things that will be taxed so folks know. So how about selling
this is the
now?
budget signing ceremony, as you're saying.
Yeah, I think
right
we're going to have some pages up on what will be taxed. We talked about it before. So let's talk about, while we're seeing that, let's talk about the business community. How do you sell this kind of a budget to the business community? When Malloy came in saying, I'm going to be friendly with business, state is open for business, there are folks who are saying, listen, businesses are being further burdened by this. How are you going to sell it?
Some selected elements of the business community has been in favor of this. But, for example, on the flip side, CBIA has not endorsed it, which represents 10,000 companies. The National Federation of Independent Businesses, they're totally against it. But some various chambers and other business organizations have endorsed the concept and have endorsed the framework and have endorsed basically what is going on.
And again, you have online shopping, you have clothes under 50, liquor, everything is going to be on the table. Real quick now, I'm hearing there could be a surplus. On the heels of this budget, I'm reading your story that it may be a surplus of $1 billion. Now, how does that play into all this?
Yes.
That's a lot of cash, Keating.
That is right.
Can't they use that and bring this thing down and then place a ball with that? That's a lot of money.
That's what people have asked the governor. I've asked the governor. Basically, he says you need that money to pay down debt, restore a rainy day fund, which right now our rainy day fund is
zero. It's raining
zero.
right now. It's storming out there.
That's true. It's a hurricane, but we got zero in the rainy day fund. So he's saying basically you do need some money there. And if the economy gets better, that $1 billion surplus could be even bigger if the economy gets better and the tax collections are better than they think.
All right, we're going to wrap things up. Chris Keating, Capitol Bureau Chief, thank you for your time. When we come back, we'll talk to Alex Johnson, CEO of a prominent education reform group. He's stepping down, folks. He's going to give his exit plan on what he thinks has to be done to change the achievement gap in Connecticut. You're watching The Simpson Show, 24/7, ctnow.com/Dan. Back after this.